The crisis of legalizing child labor and reasons of why it should be legalized. Amelia, an 11-year-old living in Bangladesh, works in Nike shoe factory 14 hours a day, receiving 6 hours daily. A story like this spread, Nike was forced to fire all children under the age of 15 in their companies overseas. Supporters for children's rights called this a victory. But was it beneficial for the children? Did it actually bring enhanced social conditions for Amelia and her friends? Although child rights activists raised their voices concerning the severity and the cruelty of child labor in the third world countries, there are several reasons why child labor in the third world countries should be legalized for the benefit of children because of the following reasons. First, the situation in third world countries is very different from the developed countries. Second, the children do not have the opportunity for something better. And third, the money children earn will be essential income to sustain their families. To begin with, the socio-economic conditions that the children of the third world countries face are drastically different from the developed nations. With the proper understanding of their current situation, it is hardly fit to conclude that child labor is unfair. Some social activists in already developed countries think that their actions to relieve the children of the third world countries of the burden of factory labor will grant the children the chances of education and other social benefits, perhaps even higher education or college, supported by financial deposits that their parents have already accumulated. However, this is not in the context of developed nations. This is only in the context of already developed industrial nations. The developing countries do not have schools in each and every neighborhood, college to yield educated teachers, nor banks to hold whatever savings the parents might have left after feeding the children. Many families are impoverished with no income, and the chances of them getting out of the current state is very low. There is tremendous income gap between the rich and the poor, as the following statistics show. The specific case of India is a very good example. The Hindu Times in 2014 reported that the top 10% of the population holds about 75% of total wealth in India. Those in the top 10% will get access to some social infra, even a chance to study abroad. However, the remaining 90% who get to divide the remaining 25% of the India's wealth will hardly get anything close to school. Under such circumstances, it is clear that making child labor illegal will not enhance children's rights, but only increase poverty and crime. Moreover, when the children are forced out of factories by the legalization of child labor, it is not the schools they go to, but the streets. In 1993, when the American Senator introduced the Labor Deterrence Act, over 50,000 children lost jobs in Bangladesh. When the researcher named Paul Krugman came to see if the children went back to school shortly after the act was put into place, he reported the quite significant number of children were left on the street as a consequence of their families being unable to support their living, and in the worst cases, they were forced into prostitution. It is evident from the situation stated above that when they lose their job at the factory, most children will not go to school, but sometimes in worse cases end up with worse jobs. Since it is not the schools that the children can return when they are forced out of the factories, for the benefit of the children of the third world countries, child labor should be made legal. Lastly, it is important to understand that by earning money, the children are actually participating in pulling themselves out of the vicious cycle of poverty. The devastating consequences of the third world countries definitely show that poor majority needs money to sustain themselves and further get out of poverty altogether. Working in the factories, especially by the ones run by industrial countries, provide better pay compared to the jobs that the local industry can offer. Although through Western standards the condition and the wage could be considered very poor, it is indeed a huge improvement to the previous work wages and environment. For example, in Bangladesh, about 4,500 different factories provide earning for 4 million workers. All this are helping the community. About 77% of the population in Bangladesh lives on just income of $2 a day, which is very little. While 43% lives on less than $1.25 a day. However, a worker in a factory run by industrial first world countries could earn over $9. Although it may not seem very much, it is a lot for the workers. If you take $6 that they are given a day if working responsibility, they will have nothing in their hands to feed their family. With $1 in Bangladesh, you can get 3 kilograms of potato and 2 liters of milk. Taking away a job from a little child could not only take $6 away from them, but will mean a great deal to the children and her family and his family, possibly feeding their way out of poverty and leaving room to think about the future, when the children's child might not be poor as them and have a hopes of education. To conclude, it is important to recognize what may seem like a bizarre idea to some could be a practical solution to others. The key to escape the poverty for these children lies on the legalization of child labor. The children of these societies have no better choices, no alternatives. Making child labor illegal will not only drive the children out of the dirty streets and garbage dumps, it is not exploiting their labor, but actually giving them chances to create their own future. Of course, the children of the world all these are better than the factory labor. However, to stop this malicious cycle that they are currently trapped in, as toxic medicine can sometimes be prescribed for intensive pharmaceutical effects to severe illness, children of the third world countries must be allowed to work. For the bright future, when these children will be blessed with rightful opportunities of education and other social benefits, the chances to work for the future should stay open. Thank you.